Good morning, team. How are we? Just wanted to show you a quick article that I've written for Cifnews in China, and just basically talks about product sourcing. I have actually done a video, a YouTube video on this before, but what I'll do is I'll post this article here and you can have a look at it. It covers pretty much what I talked about in the previous video, which I'll attach as well. It talks about how really product sourcing is probably the most important thing you can do in terms of your Amazon success. And then I go through the 4 key points that are required for good product sourcing, for successful product sourcing. Fairly obvious, I guess, but high demand, low competition, high profit and reliable supply, and what methods we use to apply those 4 criteria. We do use helium-10. We start with black box to look for low-hanging fruit. Then we look at X-ray to look at the competition. Then we use our unique 20-point product evaluation form. This was 16 points, but I've increased it to 20. And then there's the competitor keyword analysis, which utilizes helium-10 Cerebro. As mentioned here, and this you can read this later, but there are certain criteria we choose for black box for low-hanging fruit. And then once we choose a particular product or type of products, and then we go to X-ray and we start to fill in the 20-point product evaluation table. We look at things like the 7 and 7 rule on X-ray. That is 7 out of 10 of the top sellers have sales of over 7,500 a month, and 7 out of 10 of the top sellers have reviews less than 75. We then look at things like whether there's at least $300,000 in sales for that first page. We look at how many of the top sellers have over 1,000 reviews. We look at the average reviews. We look at the prices. We look at the ability to differentiate. And then we look at competitor Cerebro, which is the competitor keyword analysis, and we rank that accordingly. Then we give it a score out of 20. We think 50% is a pass, so anything above 50% is considered good. The competitor keyword analysis, I think some of you would have seen this already, but this is using helium-10 Cerebro, and what it does is that it filters using the search term volume and relevancy to see what are the top search keywords used by the competitors, the top sellers, if you like. And then based on that, we rank them in terms of green as being easy to beat, orange as being medium, and red as being hard. And then based on the number of red and green and orange, we decide whether it's a low, medium, or high opportunity, and high, medium, or low risk, and we give it a score for that. Okay. Based on that score, we determine whether this is something that's worth pursuing. That's the first 2 steps, because that's the 2 out of the 4. The third step is profit, and the fourth is reliable supply. In terms of profit, I have my own criteria. Everyone has their own, but for me, it's at least $10 per unit or a 35% minimum gross margin. That is sell price minus cost of goods. That's my minimum. I also like to use the rule that you should be able to sell it for at least 5 times your cost of goods. Everyone has their own criteria. That's mine. The last point is reliable suppliers. And if you want to be a good seller, a reliable seller, you need reliable supply. So we recommend using a sourcing agent because you need to really know who you're dealing with, and the sourcing agent is best equipped to do that, especially if you're fairly new at this game. We also recommend, of course, we say you never run out of stock. We also recommend starting to build a relationship with the seller. And if your agent doesn't allow you to build a relationship with the supplier, then you probably shouldn't be dealing with them. So I would definitely do that. Talk with a sourcing agent, get you in touch with the best supplier, best pricing, and so on. So I hope that helps, guys. A bit of an indication. As I said, this is an article, and I'll post this now. So again, thank you for your time, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks.